Hey, I'm Ray Parker. I played Darth Maul in The Phantom Menace and Solo, A Star Wars Story, and G.I. Joe, Snake Eyes, and you're listening to Disney Universe Podcast.
We would be honored if you would join us.
To infinity and beyond!
I'm Mary Poppins, y'all!
You are without doubt the worst pirate I've ever heard of.
But you have heard of me.
I only hope that we never lose sight of one thing. That was all started by a mouse.
What is up, everybody? We are back after a little bit of a break. Some busy stuff going on, but we're happy to be here. If you did not know, this is the Disney Universe Podcast. We are part of the Walt's Apartment Productions. I am one of your co-hosts, Joey, and joining me is my awesome, recently birthdayed, recently Disney tripped, our luggable, huggable Pooh Bear, Alex. What's up, man? How you doing?
What's up, man? I'm feeling the holiday vibes, repping my Haunted Mansion shirt from Glad Rack. I love this shirt. Just as I put it on, I was thinking about how much I would love to see Haunted Mansion characters in Lorcana.
Oh, yeah. I know you mentioned a few months ago, just a lot of park presence in the game. Characters, land.
And obviously, we got news at D23 about certain things coming to the game in the next couple of years, but
yeah,
that would be a dream.
Well, awesome. And of course, you heard that. We talked a little bit of Lorcana. Yes, we are back with another awesome Lorcana episode with our good friend, the artist formerly known as the Lorcana Luminary, now Rebecca Quest. Rebecca, what's going on? How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing good. Woo, glad to be here. It feels like it's been a while. So
yeah, it has been a while.
It's been busy.
We wanted to have you on as a bonus episode for this. So we're going to kind of combine that episode with just some of the recent news, which there's a lot of Lorcana stuff going on recently. So, but before we get to that, we're going to do a little bit of our mouse keeping. So going to throw that back over to the big guy, Alex.
Yeah, mouse keeping as always. We love keeping you here with us in the Disney universe. And so make sure you're following us. Facebook, Disney Universe Podcast, Instagram, Disney Universe Podcast, where we do most of our transmissions and interactions. But we are also on Twitter, Disney Universe Podcast, and of course, Patreon, where you can find our favorite glimmers of the galaxy, if you will. And that is our DU crew, patreon.com/DU crew, where you can be part of the amazing group of people who help produce this show and our great friends in the Disney universe. And I thank them every show. So thanks to our Jens, Florida Jen, Superfan Jen, you're the best. Wedge Antilles, our friend, I'm sorry, I was just thinking about baseball. John, sorry about the Brewers, man. Talk to you a little bit about it on social media. I was rooting for them because if I can't root for the Giants, I want to root for beer and I want to root for baseball. But shout out to John, Big Papa Disney, Sean, Alfredo, Tyler, and Sasquatch, wherever you may be. We love you guys. Thank you for being part of the DU crew. Everybody who wants to come join the crew, go to patreon.com/DU crew to do that. And of course, you're watching us on Disney Universe YouTube, which is DU at the DU TV. And if you're listening to us, that is through Walt's Apartment Productions. Make sure you're following all the Walt's Apartment shows, tons of Disney content, and you can find the Disney Universe backlog on Spotify or wherever your podcasts are found at the Disney Universe Podcast as well. There's great things in the archives. Spooky things.
Absolutely. That was great. And yeah, like you said, if you're following us on YouTube or watching it, don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell, hit the thumb, all that YouTube jargon, and follow Walt's Apartment. So before we get into at Lower Con Talk, we got a quick trip report that Alex and Addie and family were recently at the land. How was your trip? What was up?
The trip was great. We did a trip with the family to celebrate my mom's birthday, and we were lucky enough to get Oogie Boogie Bash tickets this year. Last year,
Nice.
went through all the hell that everyone else did and did not come up with tickets when we were down there celebrating my 40th birthday, which was a bummer. But I think with Oogie Boogie Bash, it's kind of good to take a year off. They don't really change too much, and the new treat trails they had last year were there this year, so it was good to get there, be a part of that, be with the family. We got to do Goofy's Kitchen with my nephew. It's always fun watching the kids get used to the characters. Something he said they're so big, and I never really thought about that when they're watching on TV or in imagery. They're not, 6 to 8 feet tall. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And Leroy sporting the Pluto hat was pretty awesome.
Leroy sporting the Pluto hat. I got Leroy a Halloween t-shirt. And of course I had to get myself a matching one. One of the things I got at Disneyland.
Nice.
So this is their, Halloween theme this year. It says Disneyland. Got 8 of the characters in there, including the tiniest little Chip and Dale.
Aw,
Yeah.
cute.
Nice.
Way down there.
The Halloween merchandise was definitely awesome this year. I just didn't feel like buying it back in August.
What's that?
Oh, I said the merchandise, all the Halloween
yeah.
merchandise was awesome this year, but August was a little bit too early for me to.
And I was thinking we might see Christmas merch because I remember the last day of our trip last year was the first day they put out Christmas merch. And we were like, well, we're not going to not get it, if it's the first day it's available. But I didn't see any Christmas merch when we were there. I wouldn't be surprised. It should be out by now because it was October 4th last year.
Yeah, I think they had a Magic Key preview recently at World Disney. So,
but yeah, all in all, great trip, great food. Got to try a bunch of the things I wanted to try from the Halloween menu. The peanut butter cold brew was excellent. Not really a fancy thing, but it was a seasonal beer in the park for the Fresh Hops podcast fans out there. Green Cheeks West Coast IPA, Cozy Cone number 4. That's the place to go. That I probably had 5 or 6 of those over the 4 days we were there. Really good. The Spicy Meats Pizza back at Boardwalk Pizza and Pasta, I enjoyed. Wasn't as good as I was hoping, but I did pair it with the West Coast IPA from Green Cheek. That was like my dream combination coming into food at the park. I had the spicy sausage and cheese they did at Award Wieners again was good. And I tried one of the torta sandwiches. The corn dog, sausage and cheese corn dog was from Corn Dog Castle. And then the torta was from Award Wieners. And as Magic Journeys has stated, go for the one at Award Wieners, not at Rancho del Zocalo. Not that I got to try that one, but from what they showed us, you get half over there. This one is a huge sandwich. And just like what you get with the sausages and fries at Award Wieners, this came with the village strip fries. And for like 14 or 15 bucks, we fed 3 people on that sandwich. It was huge.
Nice.
And it was very tasty. It's like a breaded steak with griddled ham, cheese, lettuce, tomato, jalapenos. Great sandwich. So that was my winner of all the things that I had. And I think the coolest thing that I did, and I forgive me for not sharing much on or anything, I think on Instagram. I was enjoying time with family, but I did take a lot of photos, and I'm looking forward to kind of sharing that as a slideshow, if you will. So look out for when this episode is released. I'll take over the Instagram story and show the time. But one of the coolest things we did, we went to TikTok, Instagram, Disney creator Noah Sunday Lefkowitz. He did his first live show. It was in, I think, Brea at this nice theater. He offered tickets for free, asking for donation. If you're not familiar or following, he does awesome medleys of all sorts of Disney parks music, whether it be a medley of extinct attractions or a medley of California adventure attractions or things like that. And so it was really cool to do. He had some other creators and artists out there helping him with it. I actually won a Mr. Toad popcorn bucket. This is the one from Disney 100 last year. I really wanted to get, but did not. So it's very cool to win that. Shout out to Sarah Sterling, old school Disney creator. YouTuber. I don't want to call her old school, but just somebody I think Thingable Vlogs watched years ago. You're into the Disney YouTube, so yay for winning this, for my knowledge on the song from the Canada Pavilion in Epcot. So that was an awesome show. I took some pictures, no video, but you can see all his awesome stuff on his Instagram and all his socials. Go support Noah Sunday Lefkowitz. Great, former Imagineer, musician. Good times.
That's cool. And I know you mentioned Sarah and Thingamablogs. Was that Tiffany? Which were great content creators, but they are now employed by Disney. That's why they can't do the content creating. So saw them at D23. So, but that's awesome. I mean, I would, as much as I love doing this, if Disney started to pay me for anything, I would,
See you later, guys.
It'll be the right
at Disney.
Exactly. Awesome.
But yeah, so the show was cool. We had a great stay. We stayed at the Airs over off of City Drive, and I will advocate to anyone, if you aren't hell-bent on being able to walk to and from the park, stay a little further away. Free parking, great breakfast. We had an awesome room right off the first floor with a sliding door to the pool, all for a fraction of what I paid for anything off of Harbor or Ball. So yeah, it was a nice change of pace. I do like being able to get to and from the park easily, but for a trip when we were there for 4 days, and doing it around my mom and my nephew more so than what we wanted to do. It was perfect. So
awesome, man. Well, cool. It looked like a great time. I know everyone was excited before you left, so that's really cool. So
yeah.
Well, right on. Well, hopefully, I think next episode we'll have a trip report from Ryan, because I believe he's is he down there now, or
he's gonna be down there like in a week. He's
that's
right. Down there right when the Tiana's Bayou Adventure Magic Preview starts.
Yeah, so that's our bit of news. They're doing Tiana's Magic Key previews throughout November, and I believe late October. I think.
Yeah. When Ryan's down there, like I think it starts on the 20th. So.
Well, cool.
We are less than 10 days away from them operating that ride for people. That's crazy.
That's right. So we're less than 10 days away. And then we are only 21 days away from the 9th annual MouseCon in Concord. It'll be at the Concord Plaza Inn, Sunday, November 3rd. That's always the first Sunday, and it's going to be a great time. We will be there. We will be having our table once again, which is awesome. You could join. Sadly, I don't think we're going to have as big of a group as we did last year with the entire Walt's apartment family, but I will be there. Alex will be there. Big Papa Disney Sean will be there, and maybe a few surprises. So, but I got some ideas, some fun things we're going to do, and so if you're there, if you're in the Concord area, definitely come say hi. High fives, high tens, whatever, haikus, I don't care. And
there'll probably be candy.
There'll definitely be candy. Might not have as big of a giveaway table, but we will definitely have some giveaways, because we gotta bribe people to follow us somehow. So what better way than having a table at MouseCon? But looking forward to it. Good friend Matt Robinson's always there. We're in the park, and it'll be a good time. And we're still working on that pre-funk once again the night before. So we'll stay tuned for details on that. But another thing I wanted to mention, kind of a little bit sadder news. I hate to bring the real world in here sometimes, but as you know, you guys, I am a football coach, and been coaching for a high school team for the last 3 years. And unfortunately, one of our players, Jalen, suffered a tragic accident, freak accident, like 1 in a million kind of accident. And I won't get into too much details here, but his family has started. He's okay. He everything's going good. Just had some misfortune during the game, but there is a GoFundMe to help his recovery, and I will put the link in here. But just would anything that you can donate would be great. Like I said, without getting too much detail, this accident did cause him losing part of his leg, which is just sad because he's 16, such a great kid. But he's in good spirits now. So like any help would be appreciated. And just trying to what we call boost the signal and just, send a little blessing to him and his family in this time. But like I said, he's in good spirits and everything. But just figured got a little bit of a voice here and got to shout it out a little bit to help when needed. So yeah. So
Definitely. We always want to boost the signal out. So anybody who has the means to help out the universe, we appreciate you. And if you can share as well, the link will be provided.
Yeah, absolutely. But on to happier news. Like I said, we got our good friend Rebecca and Rebecca Quest. So before we get to the main talk, I just wanted to ask you about the name change a little bit. Because Lorcana Luminary was, you're on X and Instagram. I mean, you're one of the premier Lorcana content creators. And like I say so many times, I'm so happy that you're in our backyard. So it makes it a lot easier. But what was with the change?
Yeah. So I'd been thinking about changing my name, my handle across social media platforms for a while. And there's no good time to do something like that. You kind of just have to do it if you're going to do it. And I was kind of waiting for the right time. But I had been thinking about having my own name being more a part of my social presence and my identity online, especially because I've started doing all the commentary for the Disney Arcana Challenge events. And so people are starting to know who I am as a person. And so I just wanted to bring myself into it a little bit more. And Quests, of course, is one of the things that we do in Lorcana. And so I liked how it sounded, Rebecca Quests. And so I went ahead and flipped the switch and made it Rebecca Quests everywhere. So it's been really fun. And I know we'll talk a little bit more about the challenges later, but it's fun meeting people and they're like, oh, hey, you're Rebecca Quests. And it's like, yes, I think it makes it a little bit more personal. So it's been a fun name change.
Awesome. And of course, you come up with Lorcana Luminary and, a lot of excitement for the game, but I think it exceeded the expectations that they were expecting. So I know there's so many, Lorcanas in the name or Lumineers or and so that was a pretty smart choice, I thought. So
yeah,
that was awesome. So I just figured I'd just ask about that. But like I said, I'm glad to have you back. We're really looking forward to pop actually even for a brief time to hang out at D23. But as you found out, and I know all too well, you could plan stuff, but it's not going to happen sometimes because it's just so
crazy
going on. So before we get to talking about Lorcana, I just kind of want to know what was your experience personally with D23, the days you went and the parks and anything that you want to bring up.
So it was definitely awesome and overwhelming. It was my very first time going to D23, and it was great because I did have a lot of advice and tips like from you guys and from a couple other people that I know who've gone in the past. I went with my sister and also my son. So the three of us went and we hit the parks on Thursday. And then we were at the con on Friday and Saturday, and then not on Sunday, and we came home. My biggest thing was I needed to take care of my feet better. My feet were so tired by the end of it. It's a lot of walking around, especially with a full day at the park, but it was so much fun going around to all the booths. Of course, Lorcana had presence there. I got to meet some of the folks on the Ravensburger team. We got some cool goodies and just the whole experience, walking around, seeing people wearing all their cosplays, and just the atmosphere was so cool. All the panels that I was able to go to were awesome. And of course, there was like so much more. I feel like I barely even scratched the surface of what was there to do, but it was so much fun being there. And I'm so glad that I was able to go, and I would definitely go again.
Yeah. And you did get into one of the Honda Center.
Yeah. So we went on Saturday night to the parks panel because but especially my sister, she's like a huge, even more than me, like parks fan. And so she's like, I definitely want to go to the parks panel. So we went to that on Saturday night, and that was very cool. I think we were actually sitting kind of close to where you guys were, but we
really?
didn't know
Oh,
it.
no.
And like I think we saw I saw pictures and I was like, I think maybe we were close to that area. Yeah, we were kind of up, in the nosebleeds, but that didn't matter. It was a really fun, really cool experience.
Yeah, I've been meaning.
People.
Oh, absolutely. I've been meaning
So
to post
many.
videos from my cell phone. I was just going to call it views from the cheap seats, but not knocking it because
No,
at the angle in a hockey arena, the viewing was amazing. So
yeah.
and that was a great panel too. I'm not going to call out one of my buddies, a fellow Disney podcaster, but he was like he was watching a stream, which was a cell phone stream, and and he was like, it was cool, but there's no reason for all the live performances and all that stuff. It was just a waste of time. I'm like, well, that stuff wasn't for the stream. That was for the people in the room.
Yeah.
And the vibe was high because of everything that was going on and stuff.
Yeah. It was very cool.
I told him he would have changed his tune if it was there, but no, yeah, it was really great. And I always tell people one thing about D23 is it's one of those hurry up and wait kind of events. So, but
yeah,
I love it. I mean, I'm always going to go whenever I can. And
yeah.
It
was really cool seeing Lorcana have. I know that they, at D23 2 years ago was when Lorcana was kind of first initially launched, in a bigger way. And they had, I know you got your hands on some of those promo cards and everything. But this time around, they had so much more going on from what I heard from last time. And they had like artists doing signings. They had the creators of the game doing signing events. And then they had quite a large panel. I don't know how many people fit in that room, but it was a pretty good sized room. And I was lucky enough to get seats in for that panel. And then they had on the little like side stage where they have like little short 15-20 minute panels going on throughout the day.
Yeah.
They had a session there as well. So there was a really big Disney Lorcana presence, which was really fantastic to see.
Yeah. And when the 6 card set that they were selling 2 years ago, they had about 30 a day, I believe, give or take.
Oh yeah.
And then I saw like they had stacks and stacks of them, but I just couldn't get nowhere. And we'll just jump right into it now. I know Alex probably has some questions, but
yeah,
I put it in our notes. I called it Lorcana Madness. And just for the people that do not know, well, me and Courtney, we were upstairs in line for the marketplace, shopping first thing on the first day, and there was madness up there, of course, and it was just like, oh man, I thought people were going to riot, but then I'm looking on Instagram or something, and they're like, Lorcana booth shut down. People were stampeding, and I'm like, what the heck? I mean, do you know much about that? Because I only got from what I was speaking for people. I mean, I think they underestimated the space for sure.
I think they did. And I think they didn't realize quite how many people would be rushing there first thing in the morning. And I think we probably all knew how many people were going to be there. And so I got in line very, very, very early in the morning. But there was no, they didn't have any organization to control how many people were going to be heading to the booth. And so we got kind of stuck in the mob that happened because there was just like a huge, number of people that kind of descended onto the booth all first thing in the morning. And the lines, if you were there, like other booths too, they just have like tape on the floor, that shows where the line is. Well, when you have like a bazillion people, nobody sees where the tape on the floor is. So everyone was just kind of like mad rush, and there was just like a blob of people. And so they did have to, close things down and figure out and get some crowd control going on. And then the line ended up being like super crazy. We ended up getting pushed like to the back. It kind of got a little crazy, but by the afternoon they figured it out. They had like a ticketing system. And then the next 2 days it went much smoother with how they handed out tickets for certain time periods. So then people knew, oh, you come back like in this hour block, and much better crowd control going on. So they figured it out. And I think if they do it again next year, they'll know to be a little bit more prepared going into it. But that first morning was definitely madness. Yeah.
And they definitely fix any problems quickly. But at the time, it's just messed up because we knew it was going to be crazy in general, but let alone the opening day of D23 was also on the release of Shimmering Skies.
Right.
I mean, downtown Disney was still a mess because they had, they're giving pins to people there too. So.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And I didn't grab my D23 or the D23 box. I should have. But they had, not only was it the release of Shimmering Skies, but they had this special D23 promo box with 6 like shimmering like foil cards with alternate art and stuff. So people were really excited about the gift set. They were really excited about getting their hands on the new set that was launching that day. So there was just a high demand of the product. So both Downtown Disney and D23 were a little bit crazy.
Plus Villainous.
And then there's Villainous, and the Ravensburger booth also had the Chronicles of Light new game that they have, which is actually a really cool game. I like it. I brought these. So this is my Mickey D23 card, and I got it signed.
I didn't get mine signed this year.
So this is Steve Warner, Ryan Miller, and Shane Hartley, the creators of the game and the creative director. And then they have the 1-year anniversary pin, the Golden Mickey pin. So everyone was really excited to get their hands on those as well. And these were only available, the pins and cards, at D23, so obviously something that was very exclusive. So it was, there was just a lot of people. It was really nice though, because they had people from Ravensburg kind of walking down the line and chatting with people and saying hello and assuring everyone, we have enough. Like you might have to wait a while, but we have enough of everything for everyone. So don't worry that it's going to be gone when you get up to the front. And they did. They had plenty of product. They had plenty of the gift sets and the cards and pins. So it was.
They ended up selling the gift sets at I think World of Disney, and Disney Springs had them for a while after.
Yeah, they did.
So, even though it was crazy, they did end up having everything. I saw your Instagram with your son. I commented that when you opened the box, it reminded me of opening the suitcase in Pulp Fiction. The way it glowed. It was
glows. So They are very shiny cards. It's a very cool set, and I mean, they know what the fans want. We like the shiny cards.
And that Mickey promo is beautiful as well too. So I understand why everybody was, aside from the exclusivity and value of them. But
I was on my target. Was only for
cool.
the promos, because I'm like, I select which lines I'm going to wait long in, because there's so much going on.
Yes.
But I wanted the card, I wanted the pin, and every time I went back the first day, the line was like closed. Like they had the what I call the mafia security, the black suit. And when me and Courtney were like walking up there, one of those guys goes to the regular like people running in line. They're like, "Close it now!" Like that was it. We're like, "Oh crap!" So I'm like, maybe I'll try for it tomorrow. So then we did the next day, and the first thing, then that was like the first thing we walked by, and there was nobody in the switchbacks. Or no, there's people lining up for it, but they had the separate line for the promo. That was a straight line. Oh no, it was a little bit of a switchback. And they're like, we're not doing the promos right now. We will be doing them again at 5, which I had Honda Center,
Oh yeah,
Honda Center, and I was like, because we were leaving by 4:30 to go back, drop off the stuff at the hotel, and then jump on the shuttles and stuff. So I was like, and every time we walked by, it was closed. I'm like, man, just bummer. And then I decided, because we're getting ready for one of the panels we're going to go to, and I decided, I'm like, you know what? I told Cordy, I'm like, I'm going to give you my backpack, and I'll meet you guys at the Honda Center, because I want the card and the pin.
Yeah.
So she's like, oh, okay. So then we were walking by somewhere in the afternoon, and we're by one of the booths, and I see people walking and I saw some lady had something in her hand shined. I'm like, I'll be right back. I go over there, and the promo line's open. So I was like, babe,
Let's go.
it's open. So she gets in line with me, and it's like not like a 5 minute, but I was just like, okay, got my card, got my pen, and because I wanted her to get in line with. She's not into the game at all, but D23 is you get one promo per wherever you go. So I asked her if she wouldn't mind getting in line with me so I could give the card to Alex.
Oh, nice.
She's like, oh yeah, no problem. She's like, okay, I'm going to give him the card, but I want the pin. So we got it. We made it to the Honda Center. We did our panel, and that was like, okay, I got my card. I'm excited. So
yeah, nice, very nice. Yeah, they did a good job of, like I said, having enough for the promos and pins for everyone. And once they kind of got the line sorted out after that first morning, it went much smoother. So.
Yeah. And I wasn't able to do the panel because that was the first thing I wanted to register for when they did it.
Yeah.
Because of the time, which I thought that's what they did. They get all these good panels from people are leaving for the Honda Center, or the people that didn't get in the Honda Center to see it. So
yeah,
that opening night panel.
Oh man, the panel was fantastic. That was definitely one of the highlights for me of D23 was going to the panel. So they had the creators, they had a few other folks who work on the game, and then including actually there's an Imagineer from Disney that kind of works in cooperation with Disney Ravensburger, or with Disney Lorcana at Ravensburger. And so he was there too, talking about his perspective as a Disney Imagineer, from that perspective of their vision for the game and everything. And so it was all about the past, present, and future of Disney Lorcana. So it's like, how did the game come to be? Talking about the art, the design, talking about what's going on now with all the events, how much the game has grown. I mean, they said that if they counted up individual cards, that they've sold over 1 billion, cards.
Wow.
Like the game is doing very well. It's selling very well. And then talking about the future of Lorcana, what's coming as far as events go, not just competitive events, but also fan events. And then also different franchises and new things that we're going to see in the game. So it was really exciting to be there in the room with them making these announcements live, and, people just being excited about all the announcements. So they have some cool things coming. And did you hear all of the different franchises and characters that are coming to the game?
Briefly, I know Alex.
Yeah. So, coming in the next set, which I know we'll talk about as right. See, we're going to see finally Chippendale. Finally.
Yeah.
Rescue Rangers. I'm like, where have they been? Where are Chippendale? So we get those guys. They're going to bring Black Cauldron into Disney Lorcana. And they're going to bring finally Pocahontas, who is one of the last princesses, official Disney princesses who will be in the game. But the very, very last princess that is officially considered a Disney princess is Merida. And everyone's like, oh, who knows when we'll get Merida, because she's Pixar studio. Yeah. And they made the announcement at D23 that Pixar is going to be coming to Disney Lorcana starting in 2026. So we're still a couple of years away from that, but we are getting Pixar. So that's pretty exciting.
That's awesome. And of course, Merida makes sense. I know she's Pixar, but she is classified as a Disney princess.
As a Disney princess. Yeah. So then you can make a full princess deck, with all the official Disney princesses. So
with Vanellope, right? Just like a Ralph Breaks Internet.
Yeah. She is a princess. Yeah. So she's in the game right now. So lots of cool things coming. I'm really excited. They're having the North American Championships are coming in January. That's going to be at the Disneyland Hotel. And then Worlds is going to be in March at Walt Disney World. So really, really exciting stuff coming up.
Yeah.
One of you brought up the princess deck, and we know one of the rules of Lorcana is just having 2 inks. Mm-hmm. But in the name of fun and playing, you could do whatever you want and building decks and stuff. And one of the cool things of that I think I had seen you doing earlier on, but really started to pop up at D23 was the pack rush. Is that what they're calling it?
Yes. Yeah.
And
So it's
I saw you post a video where there was actually a small group of people, including Ryan Miller, and you guys were playing that during D23 weekend. Can you maybe not go all into the full rules, but just share a little bit about what it is, how it works, and that night when you guys were playing at D23?
Yeah. So I wanted, first of all, I knew that there would be some Lorcana fans at D23, and there are people that I know in the Lorcana community who are going to be there. So I decided to work with a couple other content creators to organize an Illumineer meetup at D23. So it was on Friday night that we did that. And I happened to, meet Ryan and Steve and Shane from Ravensburger, and I was telling them, oh, hey, we're doing this like Lorcana meetup. It would be cool if you guys came by. And they were like, yeah, sure, we will. Nice. And they did, which was fantastic. And not just them, but a few other people from the company as well. And they brought booster boxes with them, and we got to play some games. And one of the things that we played, was Pack Rush, which is a game that you can play with 2 players, and each player gets 2 booster packs, and you open it up. So that's 24 cards, and those 24 cards are your deck. And there's some special, some specific rules to that format, but it's just like a really fun, easy way to play a quick game of Lorcana that's kind of different from your normal, building a whole 60 card deck and everything. And so that was really fun. And we had a good turnout. We had maybe 30 people that were there, and people brought decks as well. So they were playing regular games. They were playing the Pack Rush. They were playing some like 2v2 games with, Steve and Ryan there interacting with the community. It was just a really, really, really great night. And everyone was so tired because everyone had been up since who knows what time in the morning for D23. But everyone was so excited to be there and having fun. So I hope to do more things like that, hosting community events to, bring people together. Because that's why we all play this game, is to get together and play a game that we love. So I was glad that we decided to do the meetup. It was really, really fun.
You mentioned before and about possibly doing something at a local store by a river in an old part of town. I'm not going to call it out. Yeah, just
yeah.
But if that, I think that is a great idea, and you got us. If we'll have,
oh man, I would love. It's something that I've thought about for a long while, and I need to kind of figure out what that looks like with the space and the size, and what can we do. But yeah, I think hosting more community events besides, obviously different game stores host tournaments all the time, but hosting something that's a little bit more on like the social side of things with the game, I think is great, so hopefully we'll do some of that. Yeah.
That'd be great.
And that particular venue would be perfect.
I think so. We're going to be there soon too. So, but no, that was great. And again, the series that was released was Shimmering Sky. So we have a few new things other than, obviously the new story, but like this is kind of to both you guys, Alex and Rebecca, some of your favorite cards, maybe favorite sets or something in this series. And I know we talked about not just the Enchanted, but the I just went blank.
Legendary.
All the legendary cards. They
kind of got a little facelift for set 5, where the character is kind of raised up, and I think it's either the character's glossy or the back's glossy, but the other one's matte, and so it has a contrast.
Like this embossed kind of look to it. So like some of the artwork is like a little bit like raised and embossed. Yeah, it's a really interesting look to all the legendary cards this set. It's different. It's really, really neat.
I had heard some through some of the chats and Facebooks that this might be a counterfeit intent to try and reduce the amount of counterfeit cards or make counterfeit cards, especially ones of the higher value, more noticeable. So I can take that, whatever, but to me it looks cool. And I like it. As someone, who's always, we're chasing the Enchanteds, but now you're chasing the legendaries a little bit more too. And not that you weren't, but it just makes it like a little bit more of a treasure when you get it. So that's cool.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Especially those legendaries that are like super playable. I mean, because as much as we want to say all the cards are playable to some extent, yes, but some cards are just really, really good cards, like the Prince Naveen, super good. I think the new Anna card in Emerald is good.
I love that Daisy.
And the Daisy deck is so good. Oh man, that new Daisy is crazy. I played against somebody one time and it was like turn 1 and they played a Daisy, and then turn 2 they played 2 more daisies, and I'm like, well, you win.
Did you and your son do a reel with that like recently? Like,
it's all coming up daisies. That's a good name.
It's all coming up daisies. Right? No kidding.
What's Doc Holliday? You're no Daisy.
Oh man,
you're no Daisy at all.
Well, speaking of you're speaking playable, and as far as like how much you want to play them, I know we had talked before about people not playing Enchanteds, but I saw you had a shimmery that was in your Maleficent deck, or was it the Princess deck?
It was in my princess deck. So I put together, it's a Snow White deck. So Snow White and the Seven Dwarves, this set in Shimmering Skies, it's so funny because I actually was on a podcast with another friend of mine who has a Lorcana podcast, and we were talking about cards that we want to see. And I said, we've seen almost all the other princesses have like this really cool like warrior version. Like there's a knight Cinderella, and there's like a warrior Ariel, and Mulan's kind of, and like Belle, the archer, hidden archer Belle, like all these like really cool like BA versions of the princesses. And I was like, we don't have that yet for Snow White. We need like a super cool like warrior Snow White. And then here we get in Shimmering Skies a knight Snow White, and then there's all the 7 dwarves in steel along with Snow White, and they're all knights. All the dwarves are in like wearing little dwarf armor. It's so cute. So I built a deck that's taking all the 7 dwarves and Snow White from Rise of the Floodborn, which is the second set, that are all in amber, and then all this new ones in steel, all the knights, and put them together. And we have an enchanted Snow White from Rise of the Floodborn. And so I put that in there to play it. It's very shiny. It's very pretty. And it was a really good deck. It's not going to stand up in a tournament, maybe, but I played with it last night, and I had somebody else who was playing with it too. And, building the theme decks is a lot of fun, and they can be, pretty strong. So Snow White and the 7 Dwarves, good deck to try out.
Yeah, that is a great card too. Like just like her look in the armor, so cool.
Oh, so cool. So cool. Yeah. Sorry, I went off on a tangent there, but the dwarves are fun.
No, the idea of the theme decks is a lot of fun too. I love the content you're putting out on that.
No, thank you.
Because it isn't all about going and being super competitive. I'm actually, as much as I want to get better and I want to do those things, I'm more interested in the casual, let's play with fun decks and see what happens, and just kind of it's fun, obviously, as Disney fans, especially with all the different things. So I loved all the different theme decks, and hopefully we can get out and play some theme decks. I know the first one Joe built, what was it, Magic and Muscles?
Yeah, the
Magic and Muscles. I love that. Wait, what is it?
It was a steel and purple.
Amethyst, yeah.
I'm sorry, I was but it was, I won big and I lost big when I played with that one.
Yeah.
It was like 20-2 I'd win, or then I lost, 20-4.
Right.
But it was a fun deck though, because the emotions run high. But like Alex said, I'm competitive, but still learning the game, and we like the casual, and hence why we try to schedule these at breweries for people to come join us and play. So which we'll be having
that again soon.
Yeah.
Yay! I'll come.
And this wasn't in the notes, but you're talking about just like the armor Snow White and the different characters, which brings up that I love seeing, and you've posted a lot of pictures, but just the Lorcana cosplay, because as limitless as cosplay is, it's even more with the ideas that like with your archery Belle, and I saw the Knight Cinderella in a picture from D23, and a bunch of Merlins, of course, and evil queens. So I mean, it's gotten me back in the wanting to photograph cosplay bug.
Oh, nice.
So I'm throwing this out here for any local Lorcana cosplayers. Contact us and let's do a shoot somewhere. So
Yeah, it's been really neat with the Disney Lorcana challenge events that have been going on. Of course, they're kind of centered, they are centered around the competitive tournament that's happening, but you're starting to see a lot of people coming to those events doing cosplay and coming just as attendees and playing in the side events. And there's somebody who had a wonderful Snow White Night cosplay. I saw Vanellope. I did see Merlin. I mean, I saw so many cosplays at the last challenge event in Vegas, and like you said, it's kind of limitless. There's so many different characters to do, and there's so much great art in Lorcana. So it's really neat seeing people kind of jump into, and a lot of people are doing cosplay for the first time that have never done it before because they're really excited about all this art and these characters and the game. And so jumping into doing cosplay, which is really, really fantastic.
What I want to see, and I know it will happen, someone is gonna, almost like a cosplay version of fan casting a Lorcana card in the future. Someone come up with their own Lorcana idea, cosplay it, and an artist will see it, and that would be a card in the future.
That'd be cool.
I don't know what should even call that, like a coscast.
Coscast. There you go.
That would be very cool.
Be a lot of fun. I know Joe had mentioned, and we've mentioned they finally announced the Disneyland area, the LA area challenge is going to be the North American Championships. Right?
Yes.
And then the Worlds are the one that's going to be in Florida?
Correct.
Okay. And we got dates. Have they said is that only going to be invitational? I'd assume they'd still have side events, but
yeah, they haven't announced a lot of details yet, which hopefully they will soon because obviously it's going to be at Disneyland, which means people are going to want to go to the park. And I know like dining reservations open up 60 days ahead of time. So it's the weekend of January 10th, I think are the dates, the 10th, 11th, 12th. Let me check. Yeah. So 10th, 11th, 12th in January at the Disneyland Anaheim Resort. And there's going to be the North American Championship tournament portion of it is going to be invitational only. But there are going to be some other opportunities for people to get tickets to come and participate in other events happening simultaneously as the championship going on. We don't know what that looks like. We don't know how many tickets will be available. One thing that they have confirmed is that the championship will take place Saturday and Sunday, the 11th and 12th, and that on Friday, the 10th, will be what they call in the TCG world, a last chance qualifier, where there will be a separate tournament there that is one final opportunity for people to participate in a tournament and earn their invite to the championship that's happening the rest of the weekend. So that will also be going on. I think that they're going to have some really exciting things at D23. They did talk about there's the Lorcana Challenge and that they're going to start doing Lorcana Quest events is what they're calling it, which is going to be more of the fan driven, social casual kind of side of things of, cosplaying and, interacting with characters and just other ways to engage with the game besides just competitive play. And so they're going to have a little bit of that at, I think, the North American Championships, but they haven't said exactly what that's going to look like. But there's, I think, going to be quite a lot going on that weekend. And I have a feeling tickets are going to sell out so fast.
So for the challenges, normally, do you have to have a ticket to participate in side events, or can anyone just show up for that?
There's 2 tickets available. So there's a competitor ticket, which is if you want to participate in the main competitive event. And then once at any point you can drop out of the main competition and play side events. And then they sell separate attendee tickets, which are for the folks who just want to do the side events. And each of these challenges that they've had have gotten a little bit bigger. They've had a little bit more. In Las Vegas, that was the last one that they did in September. And they had lots of different side events going on. And then they also had artists, illustrators there doing signings, which was very cool. They had the creators of the game there doing pack rush and the game developers. So there's a lot of things going on. So you do have to have a ticket. You can't, unfortunately, just show up and participate in things. But they do have like the two different types of tickets available.
And it's while they are still selling out very quickly, there's still a large number of people getting in there. I know Joe had talked about trying to go down there. I'm hype. I want to go down there. I mean, I'm hip to the idea of just going and playing a game in Disneyland. I think we mentioned this before. I've seen people are doing it. I haven't actually seen it happen while I'm at the park.
We got to meet up with Lorcana Stan and play in Golden Horseshoe. That's
nice. Yeah, Lorcana Stan.
He's a local Southern California Lorcana player and cosplayer, and one of his posts was like, just post it up here in Golden Horseshoe, and he had a game going on.
Oh yeah, he is always playing in the park. Yeah, I was waiting in line with him at D23 in the morning because we happened to walk in at the same time, and he's like, I play in the parks all the time, and that's great.
And I briefly met him through the Tiki Cast because he was at Adventureland Day. I'm
nice.
like, he looks like
that's right. Yes.
And I'm like, hey, he has little kind of buttons on or pins on his bag. So my thing that, I don't know. I would be nervous still playing at that level, even in the casual. But have they been like? Do they allow like really any spectators? Or like media, small podcasts maybe coming in. Have you seen any of that at all? Or
I haven't yet. No, just ticketed, players. But who knows? I think that we're going to see over the coming year and years of this game. I would imagine these events are going to grow. The largest events that they've had, like the Las Vegas one, for example, had 2,000 competitors plus people coming as attendees. And I'm not sure how many badges they sell for attendees, but so there's definitely over 2,000 people there. And those tickets sold out in like 2 minutes. Like they went so fast. So
it's not a big number when you're thinking nationally or worldwide.
Right. Exactly.
Even for a concert in your hometown,
And so whether they make the events larger or if they hold more events across the country, I think that they see that there's really a lot of interest and demand for people attending these events, not just as competitors, but to come. I know that people want to come and cover the events even from a content creator perspective and, participate more on the casual playing side and cosplay. And, I hope someday they do like a cosplay contest at these, I think there's just so much room
between
for
matches
them.
Or something.
Like there's so much like room for them to grow these events, and they are just starting out. And so I am sure that over the next year, we're going to see some really fantastic things coming. And I have no doubt that the team at Ravensburger has some exciting things up their sleeves for us. And what's great too is that, people share online all the time about, I wish they would do this, or I wish they would do that. And of course they can't do everything, but they do listen. They listen to the fans and the community, to what people are asking for. And you can see that with each event that they are growing and getting better and better each time. And so it's really neat seeing a company that does pay close attention to the community that is their audience and is making changes from the feedback that they hear. So I think that we're going to see some cool stuff.
Yeah, I remember noticing that right away. What was the first stream that they did on Twitch? The Ursula's Return reveal.
Yeah.
And like a lot of the stuff that they announced was stuff that and I'm sorry, but I forget the names, but the ladies from Live Laugh Lorcana were like, what one of them was saying, I've been telling my husband that more games should be doing, this, but they won't. But then Lorcana announces we're going to do this. And So you can tell they're players and listening to the people, even, so that's great. And I love the fact too, you brought it up that different like artists are showing up, and I've noticed that a lot of them are showing up even at small conventions, just because they're there anyways, but they're like, what they could add Lorcana to their resume, and it kind of boosts. And so I love that the website even like highlights, and Instagram highlights a lot of these artists, because they're amazing.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if you are someone who enjoys the art of this game and like Disney art in general, they do a whole bunch of artist spotlights. And so if you follow the official Disney Lorcana accounts, like on Instagram and Twitter, they post those all the time, and they have these blogs that they do with the artists talking about their process behind creating the art for the cards, and then links to like their accounts. And I love following all the Lorcana artists on Instagram to see not just what they do for Lorcana, but like their whole body of work, because there's some fantastic, like brilliant artists that they have working for this game. Like they have over 100 artists.
Yeah.
probably even more than that. It's probably closer to like 200 or 300 artists working on this game. And so there's just some really, really brilliant art out there. And so following the artists is great. And it's neat seeing their work highlighted on the official website with those spotlights. So definitely look out for those.
When are the World Championships?
In March.
I think that might be Flower and Garden, but I think if it's during Festival of the Arts, there's a great opportunity to have a Lorcana artist spotlight.
Oh my goodness.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, Festival of the Arts, I think, is January to the beginning of March or end of April.
Okay. Yeah, they haven't yet announced specific dates. They've only said March for the World Championship. So in January, we've already talked about they're having the North American Championship at Disneyland here in California. And in December, the month before that, they're actually doing the European Championship at Disneyland Paris in France. So
are you going?
No, I'm not going to that. I wish.
Ravensburger, send Rebecca to France.
And then the winners from, the top however many players, they haven't said what the what the top cut is going to be, but players from both European and North American Championship will be coming to that World Championship in March. And then again, they're going to have other tickets available for people who aren't there as an invite, who haven't earned their way to participate in other events. And I mean, Alex and Joey, I have never been to Walt Disney World. So I am like really hoping that it works out for me to go in March to that event.
Want so much for you to go to.
Be
for Disney World fantastic. And for Lorcana.
Oh man, yeah, all around. But yeah, I'm so excited to see what goes on, because I just can't even imagine all of the things that they could possibly do with hosting the event there at Walt Disney World on property. There's so many possibilities.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's gonna be amazing.
You mentioned the championships, and I'm trying to think of if there's something they've even said or asked, but how does one qualify for the Continental Championships?
Oh,
do you have to win a store championship, or is it from previous Lorcana challenges?
It's from the other challenges. So this year there were 6 different regional challenges happening, and it's the top 16 from each event that get an invite to the championships for North America, and same in Europe as well.
So store championships aren't really connected.
They're not.
The level of that.
Yeah. Right now, and they may change that in the future, but right now, completely separate thing, and it's just for your local store and the prizes that they have for the set championship. And then, it's just the top 16, which, I mean, those competitors at that level are like so intelligent. Like the player skill at that level is incredible to watch. If you're interested, if you're listening, in seeing like how these top competitors play, there's the stream that we do, which I'm a part of doing the commentary, and watching this, I learned so much, and I become a better player even just by watching these highly skilled players play these games. It's the challenge events are really fantastic.
I've watched a couple of your streams, and we think this is so amazing that you've gotten the opportunity to do this, and it's so fun listening to you on there. Something I was thinking about, because Joe was talking about just kind of attending, and I think if you were to buy the attendee pass, you could, cover it to whatever degree you want to.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
For
that's
sure.
the goal.
Podcasting channel.
Yeah.
But something with that. What is the spectator situation like for a championship match at a challenge? Do they have like seats for
Like if
people
you're
to
there,
watch?
yeah. So that is one of the things that they heard feedback, I think, from community and people who were there, that it's gotten better and better and better each time. So I don't think they had any spectator area at first, and then it slowly got bigger and bigger. And at Vegas, the last one that they had an entire area with seating and a huge, like, I mean, giant LED like wall where they were putting the live game up on the screen for people to watch. And there were tons of people who were, in between rounds, or people who had dropped out, or just were, the side event attendees, and they wanted to watch the thing, and it's fun because you hear people like cheering, and the
Yeah.
ooh,
It's cool.
it's very cool. So that is
how
something
close-
that's really fun.
How close are you to that when you're doing the commentary?
Very close. So
awesome.
we were, what's interesting though about the way the commentary works is we're on a delay. So the live games are being played, and then we start like an hour maybe behind. And one of the reasons why the biggest reason why they do it is because then they're able to show more games, more coverage, and there's not very much dead space in between rounds and everything. Because if we were doing it live, maybe the game, the rounds are 40 minutes long. Well, maybe the game ends after 20 minutes because it was really fast. And now you have how much time until the next one. And so it's really great that the production team has done that. So we're on a delay. And so
Those
it's
quick
funny.
edits.
Exactly. Very. And so what's funny is like, and we don't watch what's going on live. So for us watching, even though it's recorded, we are live reacting. We don't know the outcome. We try not to pay attention to what's happening live, so that we don't know anything about the game, but we hear the audience reactions to things, and we're like, oh, what's that about? And then and then we're doing it, we're like, oh, that's why they were screaming there. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
And these events are, I mean, like I said, me and Alex have this little pride thing about, being that we're friends and local, just seeing you do it. But besides just the community you have with your commentators, because I mean, it's a great team. What has been like some of your favorite parts of the doing these events, or just going to these events?
Yeah, I mean, connecting with the community members is definitely like one of the biggest things. I mean, of course, I love my locals and the players that have become friends here, but at the most there's 20, 30, maybe 40 people in a room for like a set championship or something. But when you walk into a room and there's over 2,000 people there that are all hyped up about Disney Lurkana, and that there's a lot of people, who maybe even know me from doing the commentary or from my Instagram account, and will come up and be like, oh, hey, like, thanks for what you do. Like, I just love that. Or like content creator friends that I've made online, getting to meet people finally in real life that I've been talking to online. And it's just such an exciting atmosphere. And I've been able to like sit down and play a pack rush, or two with some friends, and just chatting about the game or what's going on and the meta and what we see in the room. And it's just so fun to be in a room with people that all kind of have that shared interest and are just super excited to be there. And if you ever get a chance to go, I hope you guys do. Like there's just something that is really special about these events. And I know that they're even going to get better and better. So hopefully there's more and larger events coming in the future so that people can get an opportunity to go, because they really are so much fun.
And how early would tickets go on sale for January?
Let's see. Usually they go on sale like probably 2 months in advance, I guess, is what the other ones have gone on sale for. So we might get more details over the next couple weeks, and then like 2 months out, they'll go on sale. In the past, they've been through Eventbrite. I don't know if the next one will be any different, but definitely follow the official Disney Lorcana accounts because they'll have all the announcements. And I try to keep up with any breaking news, that I see as well on my Instagram, and share links and everything so people can be in the know of what's going on. But like I said, they do sell out super fast. So it's kind of like getting tickets to Oogie Boogie Bash, you got to be ready. You got to be ready with your fingers.
Magic Key pre-sale.
Exactly. Yes.
That's awesome. And like I said, you're our go-to. We're always sharing either your news or just fun content. Especially, I love how your son is in so many of your videos too. It's like,
I love that. So for anyone who doesn't know, he actually will turn 15 on Monday. His birthday's in a couple days.
Happy birthday.
So yeah. So the fact that my 15-year-old son is willing to be in some silly Instagram reels with me about Disney Lorcana is pretty cool. I'm really thankful, and we have a lot of fun.
Yeah. 15 and loves to hang out with mom on social media.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I love his sweatshirt that he always wears.
Oh, wait, which one? I don't know.
Sweatshirt.
Oh, the Warriors. Yeah. Golden State. Yes, indeed.
So, next set. Well, first of all, I love anything piratey.
Yeah.
And when we got the glimpse of, how do you say it?
Azurite Sea.
Seas?
Yeah.
Everything is so piratey so far. This has to probably be one of my favorite reveals. Oh, that's hard to say because every reveal has been amazing as it's happened, but this one looks bonkers.
Yeah.
What do we know about this new series or set coming out November 15th?
Yep.
The day Tiana's opens, Courtney's birthday, Christmas time at Disneyland starts. All the
big
stuff.
Day.
The big
all the
day.
Things. Yeah. So it's called Azurite Sea. And what's really neat, because Disney is all about stories. And so if you've been following the story from the beginning of the Illumineers through the realm of Lorcana, this Azurite Sea is kind of the next step in their adventure where they're going out onto the high seas, and it's called the Azurite Sea. And there's a fun little story trailer, and there's like waves that come up and turn into like some crazy maze on the sea, and all the glimmers are very much like piratey, seafaring, adventurous versions of themselves. So there's cards that we've seen revealed of like a pirate Jasmine, kind of card, and there's like Mickey and friends like Mickey, Minnie, Donald, Daisy that are all kind of in these like seafaring like ship crew outfits and everything. So there's a lot of really fun takes on the characters with this very pirate set, which is fun. And I'm excited to see what other like Floodborn versions of characters we get. So the Floodborns are the ones that are, typically more different from what you would see in like the canon version of the character. So like the pirate Jasmine, and things like that. It's going to be a fun set. And the next couple weeks are going to be really gearing up with a lot of card reveals as we get closer and closer. Usually it's about a week before the set has released that we'll have seen all the cards revealed. So there's not even half the set has been revealed, I don't think. So they're going to start rolling out like crazy here soon.
Naturally, more Treasure Planet cards, which makes me happy.
Yes, yeah. More Treasure Planet.
This guy's finally got a playmat quest after here.
Oh, the Donald Duck pirate.
The pirate Donald is going to be
his two favorite things.
Yeah, Pirates and Donald.
Yes, yeah.
Also, I decided in my head just now that next time we do Oogie Boogie together, you go Pirate Donald, I'll be Wizard Pooh. Or maybe that's what we do.
There you
we
go.
Do that for the Lorcana Challenge if we can do it.
Oh, I love it.
That's a great idea.
I mean, they can't leave us locked outside the Disneyland hotel if we dress in cosplay, right? I don't have a ticket,
exactly how
but I'm a wizard.
Yes.
Let me go.
I'm the honey wizard.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's some great stuff coming. Always great accessories. They have and even this that they had cool accessories. Did you guys get the new lore books?
I haven't got a. That's a 9-page
good.
or 9 per page.
9 pocket, yeah, 9 pocket. So they have those. I don't think those are changing for the new set. So hopefully those will still be available because they're really nice. And they have new deck boxes. They have new play mats, like the Donald Pirate one. So there's lots of accessories coming out too, in addition to the set itself. Yeah,
because I was like, I haven't been able to luck out on a play mat. It's been destiny to get this one because
I overpaid greatly for my giant Tink playmat, which I still haven't opened. If anybody's listening and has a Wizard Blue they want to trade for a giant Tink, get at me. But I've been able to find the Madrigal playmat, the Casita. And I mentioned before we were recording that I was really excited because I know Addie loves Encanto and she loves Princess and the Frog. And so when I walked into that Target, they had the Encanto mat and the Tiana sleeves and deck box. So I was like, I got you all kitted out. Now we just got to learn the game.
Now we just have to learn the game.
But I think she's going to enjoy it too once she picks it up. And, you know, I'm looking forward to building decks together. I look over her shoulder on Animal Crossing. She looks over my shoulder when I'm blasting packs, as I like to call it, blasting packs.
Blasting packs.
About to blast some packs. Yeah.
Well, you guys know, like I said, from this set, I'm just excited for everything, just the whole pirate theme. What are you guys looking forward to for this Azeroth Seas?
Oh, I don't know if there's anything in particular. What about you, Alex?
Chippendale.
Oh yeah, Chippendale. Rescue Rangers.
General, I know
that's true.
It almost felt like they had retconned Gadget, taking her out of the Gadget's Go coaster.
Yes.
Although I think there is still some. I actually waited in line for that ride on this trip, and then I don't think Leroy ended up riding, or maybe he did at the last second. It was one of those. The child has to pee halfway through a 30-minute line. We'll wait. You try and catch us at the front. But anyway, I'm excited for that piece of our childhood to come back in this game. And
also, there's Big Hero 6.
Yes,
I forgot about that. There's Baymax.
Get my Wasabi card.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, there's all the Big Hero 6 cards. So that's very cool. They even have this new song or a new card that's coming. That's the song,
Immortals.
I think it's called We Can Be Immortals.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about all the Big Hero 6 cards.
And Cass's Cafe as a location.
Oh, maybe. Yeah. Oh, so much good stuff.
Nice.
Yeah. And like I said, it's especially if you're in the Disneyland area, it's going to be such a fun time to get your packs of cards, ride Tiana's.
Yeah.
Celebrate Christmas.
Well, no, I know you're going to be out of town on the 15th. I assume you're going to be at your local on the 15th?
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe I'll try and take Joe's place and take his enchanted luck and join you down there.
Yeah. There you go.
It's a real thing.
Yeah.
But I'm super excited for this set. And I still got a trove to open. I still got some packs from D23 I got to open. We're sending those packs out to our DU crew. So
yeah, we'll get together soon and have a little package stuffing party. I know we got a lot of things we want to get out.
Yeah. And one more thing that got announced after this reveal, just about a week ago, or maybe a little bit longer. This is really cool. Ravensburger is partnering up with Ultra Pro Accessories, and they're doing exclusive brand new accessories for Lorcana, not just the Ravensburg brand. One thing that I got my eye on that I think looks super cool. It's going to be this for our YouTube audience.
Good. I haven't seen this yet. I thought you were talking about the creators' sleeves that Rebecca's a part of.
Oh,
no, that's different.
So this is a 252 card box that folds out as a lore counter.
Lore counter. That's fun.
Yeah, I've seen some creators that have gotten those, that have done some videos, and they look so nice. And he had a single sleeve deck that he could fit 2 decks into that the deck box that they have. Yeah.
So and 2 Lorcana decks in the deck box. Oh, that is sweet.
Yeah.
So here's it folded. Here's the album.
Yeah. So the portfolio is going to be similar to this, where it'll be, 9 pockets, but a more like leather-ish type finish. And it has like a zipper close. So a little bit more like high-end quality premium portfolio and deck box. So some really, really nice accessories.
Yeah, and those are the only ones been announced thus far. I'm sure more will be coming out.
Mm-hmm.
But speaking of accessories, I think it was B Squared. I saw his video teasing it. But there's a bunch of Lorcana creators who have sleeves, right?
They're tokens. So
ink tokens.
Ink tokens. Yeah. So there's a rule in the game where you can use something other than Lorcana cards as your ink, So if you wanted to, there's some rules around it, but we had a group of creators that got together and said, oh, let's make some custom ink tokens. And so they all have the same back to them. And then on the front, they each have like the different creators logo or whatever they wanted. We were like handing them out at the Vegas challenge and stuff. And people were super excited about them. They were pretty fun.
Yeah. It's like, what's it? The challenge coins that people can hand out for Lorcana.
That's cool. I think I watched a video once and I wasn't clear what they were using because it wasn't Lorcana cards.
Right.
But I knew they were awesome because they were, each card looked like the old bubble VHS tapes.
That's so funny.
Video.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, at first I thought they were sleeves and I was like, you couldn't do that because they would be different on the backs. Yeah. But now that I know they're ink tokens, I'm on the hunt.
Yeah.
And so you guys are giving those away? They're not like for sale anywhere? Okay.
No, not for sale. Yeah, we're just so if you see us in person anywhere, then you can ask us for the ink tokens.
It's like podcasters giving away stickers.
Like I gotta go see you all to collect them all.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I only have mine. So there's 10 out there right now.
Trading cards.
Yeah, they're pretty much. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Need an Infinity Gauntlet.
Yes.
Right on. Well, we'll be on the hunt for those.
There you go.
We'll definitely start our collection with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know Joe and I are both really excited to get to some of these big events. In the meantime, we'll be watching you on the Lorcana broadcast. Is there another North American one before?
Yes, there's one more. So that's coming up in 2 weeks, actually, from tomorrow or today. It's Saturday. Yeah. So 2 weeks from today, there will be an event in Seattle happening.
Nice. Good city.
Yeah, I've never been there either. So
yeah, good food, good weather generally. I mean, if you don't like it to be 100 degrees, but
not had fun Thursday. So
yeah, on Thursday. That's good.
There you go.
Well, awesome. No, we love having you on here, Rebecca. We're like I said numerous times. We love not just that we're friends, but we're all in the same area. So hopefully we get back playing soon. Even just hanging out with the local community. I did a very bad job. Alex mentioned it earlier in the show, and I forgot to kind of introduce it properly. But last time we had you on, we teased that we got to come up with a Lorcana name and stuff, and for our shows, because this is on YouTube. I'm actually putting a playlist of all our Lorcana content because there's so many really good Lorcana YouTube channels and podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
We are not a Lorcana podcast, but we love it.
There are so many good Lorcana broadcasts. We are not.
Well, we are not a Lorcana podcast.
No, we are not a Lorcana podcast. That is
but
true.
Lorcana is in the Disney universe, and it's something that we are big fans of. So our YouTube channel will have a playlist just for our Lorcana shows with you. We're going to redo our highlight section on our Instagram, and we're going to do a Lorcana tab that has the links to all these episodes. So if people are just getting into the game or just a fan, I've seen you or listened to you on other content, they're like, hey, we want to hear you guys banter with Alex and Joe. And sorry, not Ryan, because he's just doesn't know anything about the game. So he said if he would just be joined in, just looking like a dummy. So I call it. He didn't call himself a dummy. Sorry, Ryan, I'm not calling you a dummy.
We'll drag him in when we get the chance. Because, we don't see each other in person frequently.
But that's the long way of me saying these Lorcana episodes are now going to be called the Glimmers of the Galaxy, our DU Lorcana content. So glad to have that. And it sounds awesome and it sounds on brand. So, but like I said, we'll probably do this again, most likely with you and Alex down in November in a couple of weeks while I'm down there. And, you're always welcome. Any of our local Lorcana, we had Taylor on last time. So I want to get John and Cammy on here too. So we're going to do some local stuff, and hopefully, like I said, do something in that little old area in Sacramento. Hopefully soon. So.
Yeah, we'll be looking out and definitely sharing whatever info you have for us about when the
thank you.
North American Championship are starting.
Yeah.
And of course, when you'll be going live on Twitch in 2 weeks.
Yeah. John was in Vegas, and he earned a Let It Go. He was in the top one. I forget how many that is. 128, I think.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, he did very well. So
that's awesome.
Anyway, well, thanks. Yeah. Thanks for having me on. It's always so fun to chat with you guys. And let me know when you do your next get together at the brewery or whatever to play some casual games and stuff. And hope I can make it out to join.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And we know some breweries down in your neck of the woods, and I know one of them has a lot of tables, so we can probably get a few people out there. So, but if people for some reason do not follow you yet or know where to get your information, where can they find you on the socials?
Yes. Well, since I had a name change, I am everywhere as Rebecca Quests. So it's REBEKAH Quests, Rebecca Quests, mostly on Instagram, also on Twitter. And I also just started TikTok, but not much there. It makes me feel old. I'm too old for TikTok, but but yeah, Rebecca Quests everywhere.
It's bad though. You can't open TikToks when you don't have TikToks. I don't have TikTok.
I know. That's why I created it. It was because people keep sending me TikToks to look at, and I'm like, oh, okay, I'll just create one.
I had got sent one because my buddy, I guess, is in a viral clip from the Niner game the other night, and so I had to send it to my wife to have her to open it so that I could see it.
Well, one thing I'll say about TikTok, the views on there are just bonkers crazy compared to like Instagram. I have a TikTok that's just my little Professor Owl Funko, and it's just a photo, but it's the theme song to the sing-alongs, and it's got like 5,000 views, which is a lot for my little lonely page. But
it's like what's it called, Vine? You
Yeah,
get more VPM videos per minute.
Exactly. Well, yeah, can't wait to hang out again. Maybe we will both run into you in January at the U.S. Championships. And before we go, and
maybe I don't know where you're at, but you should come to MouseCon. That would be great.
Oh yes, yeah. We're gonna try to build up the Lorcana community at MouseCon.
There you
go. Which is once again the first Sunday of November, which is the 3rd, I believe.
November 3rd, yes. And look out for whatever sort of fun pre-funk shenanigans we do November 2nd. Details to come.
Yes, and but unfortunately now it's time to say goodbye. That's all I'm going to sing. But we would love to shout out once again our good friends, and before you shout them out, a special hope you're doing fine to our Florida Jen, who's hopefully not being affected by the hurricane. Usually I would send these well wishes to my niece, but she's actually in Disneyland, actually on the way back, so she wasn't in any of that, thankfully. But Jen, we hope you guys are doing good, you and Joe and all your friends out there.
Yes.
But let's shout out our good friends and our crew.
Yes, of course. The DU crew, the glimmers of our galaxy in the Disney universe. Shout out to Florida Jen, Superfan Jen, Wedge Antilles, Alfredo, Big Papa Disney, Sean. Looking forward to seeing you at MouseCon, buddy. We got John Zanicaro. Sorry if I butchered your name, but John, my baseball and beer bud. And of course, Tyler with the bags. I missed you last time you were in town. I'm sorry, bud, but we'll have to get together for brews soon. So sending virtual cheers out to the whole DU crew. If you want to get together for virtual or in-person cheers, come to patreon.com/DU crew. Find out about our 2 tiers. None of them actually include going to have beers with me. But if you see me in person, it's not anything I will ever say no to. So join the crew.
Absolutely. And once again, Rebecca, thanks for joining us. Can't wait to do it again.
Thank you.
We will be back with another episode shortly. A little bit of a trip report from Ryan. So more food talk, which can't go wrong with holiday foods. And probably some Disney news. We'll have it out before Halloween. So some spooky stuff. But I guess I got to do a different outro here. But, what do we say? Glimmer on? I don't know.
Quest on.
That works for me. Yeah.
Keep on questing.
To the
on
great
questing.
illuminary.
There you go. To the illuminary and beyond.
Yeah.
There we go.
Perfect. Thank you guys. We'll talk to you later.
Thanks.